video I've been wanting to make for a while, but now I can finally do it. This is the rise and fall of StikBot. Now, before we dive into StikBots, let's first talk about the company that made them, aka Zing. An interesting thing that you probably didn't know is that Zing's website is actually made with Adobe Flash. If you go to Zing's About Us page on their website, you'll find some interesting things, like it was developed in 2006. And also, they say that they were a small workshop trying to grow into a global company manufacturer, mainly with toys. Well, anyway, there's a picture of this kid who seems to be holding some kind of bow and arrow. Now, this bow and arrow, from what I have found out, seems to be the reason why Zing became so popular. Now, it's no Mattel or Hasbro, but Zing got themselves a name in the industry because of this thing. There's a pretty big chance that you probably have this bow and arrow in your house. I actually have a red version, but I can't find it. And still to this day, alongside Clickbot and StikBot, they still advertise newer versions, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, so here's another thing that you may have had. You may have had a Zax. These were also extremely popular alongside their boomerang. You probably had one of these boomerangs as a kid. The interesting part about these boomerangs is that they were made out of light plastic or hard plastic. Then around 5 years ago, you may have started to notice some StikBots on Target and Toys R Us shelves. Then on February 25th, 2015, the StikBot Central account was created. I couldn't find any pictures of when the channel was first created, but here's it now. Certain companies had tried to make stop-motion toys before to help encourage kids to make stop-motions in movies, but nothing had ever worked that great until this thing came along. And the reason was because it really had, a lot of companies had their own app, but this had a much better app. There was a lot of flaws, but it had green screen and its own sound effects. It even had custom sound effects for the StikBots. And with almost constant updates, nothing could go wrong. StikBot Central really only posted StikBot shorts, but then the StikBot show, the one with Indominus Rex, came along. I remember when I watched this, I just thought it was so much different than what other toy companies had done, because they created a full talk show episode. There's not that many companies that would do this or even did it. But the thing that caught my eye was how it was just put well together. They featured fan stop motions, which were mainly off of Instagram. They would later do this also with YouTube. But it was just so, the jokes were also really interesting.
But if I see you around Taylor again, I will personally you green twig-looking son of
I don't know what to say. And this wasn't the only one. They had so many goddamn shows. It was like Nickelodeon. And they had 108 episodes. And I know that there have been shows that have been way more. But for a stop-motion animated kids show, there was a series where an environmentalist group went into Minecraft to stop Steve from destroying the environment. And you better believe I watched all of that. What the fuck? But then a problem started to arise. This is Zing Studio 1.0, aka StikBot Studio. This is the first ever stop motion thing. This was the app basically that you made stop motions with that they recommended. I won't name who in case they don't want to be named, but one of my friends lost over 3 years of stop motion work. Not only was it just stop motion, but also it was 45-minute stop motion on this app. Like a lot of people have said, I don't recommend this app. This isn't the only problem as well. There are many other problems. I recommend something like Stop Motion Studio or Stop Motion Studio Pro. Now, this is a mistake that I made that I hope none of you will make after I say this. So I told a lot of my friends to get Stop Motion Studio Pro and not Stop Motion Studio. Now the difference is Stop Motion Studio is the exact same as Stop Motion Studio Pro, except you don't have green screen and stuff. Now if you buy the feature pack, it's the exact same as Stop Motion Studio Pro. I didn't tell my friends that, so they could have gotten it for free but lost some features. Alongside a lot of popular shows, StikBot had Off the Grid, one of the most amazing animated shows of all time. It's basically about people who are trying to escape the law in a way. It's hard to explain, but it's in an apocalyptic town. The animation's amazingly well done, and it's just so good. I haven't seen it, which I know a lot of people will hate me for. Now, one of the things that made this show so good was how smooth the animation was. And the people that helped make this show was Moonshine Animations. Now, I don't think of these people as the most kid-friendly animation studio of all time, but it definitely made the animation incredibly smooth. But like all shows, this had to come to an end. Was this the end of StikBot? Hell no, it wasn't. They became so #relatable. If you ever see any StikBot posts on r/fellow kids, this is why.
Looks like it's closing in on Tilted Towers.
They wanted to connect with the kids, but the problem was they had already lost a lot of connection. So just connecting to them through even stranger ways wasn't the best idea. Eventually, they released StikBot Monsters, which was very popular, but wasn't as popular as before. They eventually also released this movie, and I thought it was pretty good. It featured StikBot Monsters. But on June 27, 2019, there was this trailer released, featuring new kind of StikBots. These were called Clickbots, and they would in a way be a sequel to the original StikBots. And there would still be StikBots in the videos, but now it's Clickbots. They also said August 17, 2019. What does this mean? I'll tell you. Then on August 17th, 2019, which they had leaked in another video, they introduced Clickbots Premiere. This would be a show about Clickbots going to different places and defending the universe. On September 17th, 2019, this is what me and what a lot of other people call the official end of StikBot. We need to first explain that there was this show that StikBot had started recently where usually two people would put in a coin into a vending machine. The vending machine would turn into a portal and something would come out. Okay? Pretty simple formula. A lot of things that would appear in the shows are things that were trending or popular, like Angry Birds or Spider-Man. Right in the summer of 2019, a lot of TikToks would feature Peppa Pig doing weird things or weird things happening to Peppa Pig. This eventually carried over to YouTube, starting I edited a Peppa Pig episode, etc., etc., etc. There were also certain YouTubers that made videos about Peppa Pig almost every day. A good example is Steph Incorporated. She basically, her channel was popular before, but it really blew up when she made her Peppa Pig edits, and these are some of the most famous Peppa Pig edits of all time, and I'm saying Peppa Pig edits way too much. Also, right before this was about to happen, the Storm Area 51 raid was about to happen. If you're curious what this is, the date was planned to be September 20th, 2019, where certain people would run into the gates of Area 51. And, it was originally a joke, but it actually, 7 people got arrested, so I don't think it's a joke anymore. But I was actually really close to there when this happened, so, kind of cool. I should get back to the point. I really should. Oh, okay. So basically, in September, right before the Area 51 raid, Peppa Pig meets Area 51 became a thing, and it's so weird and kind of cursed. Anyway, I can't find the videos no matter what I do, but I swear that people made videos ranting about how bad this was, and this was the official end of StikBot. I want to make one thing clear, which is I don't think that StikBot is dead. StikBot will live for a long time, but the fan base has been gone. They still make videos, and people still make videos. They're some of the best toys I've ever seen, but I don't think that they will be at the popularity that they once were at. But they were never that popular, I'm sorry. There was only 3 people at my school that knew what StikBots were. That's counting me and my friend. Okay, both of them were my friends. I told one of my friends about it. I don't even know if this count. Stop! Cut!